Hello and welcome back to another video. Ooh. And nowadays, if you want to get your annoying spring brat to shut the hell up, you just give them you give them a really annoying motorcycle to piss off all the neighbors. No, you give them some electronic toy. If they're really young, one of those soundbox toys from like Dollar General and an annoying speck on the screen. Ugh. Anyway, hopefully not though, because like, as someone who grew up with unfettered access to the internet, I'm gonna go ahead and say that was not a good thing. Yeah, I watched a lot of like UXW Bill and like Vsauce, but like I really should not have had that iPad too. But that is not the topic of this video. Topic: vintage electronic toys. This is not vintage. This is although it's getting there. Back in the nowadays, you just give your obnoxious brat like your phone or something. In the early 2000s, something like this, which is literally a Linux tablet. This thing runs full-blown Linux with like a skin on it. But you know, what if it's the late 70s, you know? And you know, you want to splurge a little, you want to give your child some sort of like nice toy. Maybe one of those newfangled computerized ones. Introducing the Coleco Quiz Whiz. Think a high school test, both trivia and electronics. Yeah, this that is nowadays. This thing's really boring, but I really like what I really like about this is just what went into making something like this. This was the late 70s. This one's actually from, I think, 81. This about the time when personal computers were starting to enter the scene. I think. Yeah, definitely. Radios at this time and televisions would have been well past transistorization and or made solid state, if you'd like to go with that. What a weird term. They would have had integrated circuits in them, but you know that was still kind of expensive. You know, like the Apple IIs with their and later like VIC 20s, kind of expensive. This not thing with the toys is they can't be expensive because the target audience, children, don't have money. Huh? It's almost as if that's an obvious thing. So what's really impressive on this is how they made it into how they made it cheap. You know, what I find impressive is just the mass production and the cost reduction of electronics. That is why I find impressive. Yeah, the new modern high-end stuff, those are nice. But stuff like this, way more impressive. Basically, the way this works is you press clear and has no indication that it's on. Brilliant engineering there, guys. You put in a number of the question, you choose an answer. If it's wrong, it goes like that. If it's right, that's not right. If it's right, it goes like that. Just put in a 9-volt battery. And yeah, that's literally it. On the side is this edge connector for a cartridge, which is more of a book thing that you just slide this into. Yeah, the crudeness. Which, what this does is, actually, reverse engineered this. Well, began reverse engineering this. Because I do not have any of the cartridges. What this seems to do is, interface with the keypad. And what... It sets up the, pseudo-random number generator in this thing to, change the answers. In fact, let's take it apart. Anyone else cringe when they look back at the footage and just like, wow, I'm really cringe. I'm like that sometimes. And wait, this is it. This is it. Nothing else. There's a few other things. We have our ASIC, or I guess a toy on a chip. On a phenol PCB with some passives, some diodes for one of them's for polarity correction. Well, more like protection, not really. Yeah, and the other two I think are for biasing the current through the LEDs so that they don't like just emit smoke, because like LEDs do not like having 9 volts pumped through them. They do not like that. You can really tell this is cheap and nasty because you see that? Heat stakes. They're all broken off. That's because I broke them off so I could dissect this thing. And don't worry, you'll see some even more signs of cheapness. This thing's honestly really cheap and nasty. It's honestly really surprising this thing has even lasted this long, because come on. Deploying the foot. There we go. I think that's it. No, of course not. Can you tell this thing's kind of annoying to service? There we go. You can see my nasty toenails. That, and literally the only thing on the other side is just the metal dome buttons, and suspiciously a lack of a switch for the power. That's because it uses this momentary switch and just just presses it when it's on the on position. I do really enjoy how all the buttons are actually molded into the case. That's really convenient, so that when you take this apart, you don't have like tiny plastic buttons spread out across like the observable universe, and you have to go on like an epic like legend that involves like seemingly impossible tasks to track them down. But in reality, that's going to be to reduce cost. Piezo buzzer, that's really just about it. There's really nothing to this. There's literally pretty much nothing. It's impressive, really, how this is. That's it. That is it. Yes.